Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Viraj and today we guys are going to learn something about a slicing. So first thing first, what exactly the slicing is all about? Slicing help to dump chunk of data from given element. Slicing has three things: start point, end point and step. Slicing can have positive as well as negative values. In indexing, we can get a value. However, in slicing, we can get chunk of values. Syntax: a data type, start point, end point and step. Let me write one more point over here. Slicing can be applied on str, string type of a data, list, tuple and etc. Iterable elements, we can simply say that iterable elements. Here start is by default 0 index and by default last element, step by default 1, which means skip a element. Let's see this practically. For example, if I'm having a course equal to Python. Course is my variable which is holding a Python. Let me draw the indexing over here, positive as well as a negative. Python -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is positive index and this is a negative index. One important rule that we have to understand over here, when we use slicing, if step by is positive, data will travel to a right side. If step by is negative, data will travel to left side. So what does this mean? So right now this is a positive, so what you can say something like this. So it will travel to the right hand side. If it is a negative, it will travel to the what? Left hand side. Let me show you this practically. Okay. So course of 0, this will print a 0th element. This is how we can use indexing. Course -1, this is how we can use a negative indexing. For example, if I wanted to print a py only, how we can do that? Course starting point will be the by default 0, so I don't need to mention it. Ending point will be, end index can be the 2. Reason is it will start from a 0, it will print it, it will print a 1 and on a 2 it will stop it. So that's why we are going to give a 2. What will happen if I am giving a 1? It will print only P. Course :1 P only. So this is how we have to give the indexing. start point and end point. Step by is an optional thing. Step is optional thing. So it is not a mandatory. This particular step is not a mandatory. Totally depend on us that where we wanted to use and what kind of data we wanted to print. Okay. So for example, course, if I'm giving a 0:2, this is also fine. This is also fine. So this is completely fine, like input number 6 and input number 4. Both are the same. Internally, this empty is nothing but the what? Last element. For example, course 2:. 2: means what? It will start from a T and go to the last element, till the last element. THON. This is what it is going to print. This is what it is going to print. You can see that right now it is always traveling to the right hand side. Right now it is traveling to the right hand side. The reason is, if there is no step by provided, it means that by default it is a positive one. So that's why it will travel to the right hand side. Let me print the negative one. Let me use a negative and let's try to print it. So for example, if I'm giving a -6 and :-4. For example, course -6 :-4. So what we are giving? -6 to -4. So what it is, it should print? It should print a P and Y, because step by we haven't provided. It means that it is a by default 1 and 1 is a positive number. So it will travel to the right hand side. You can see the Py. This is really important. When you are learning the Python, then this is really important for you. Course -6 :-4. Okay. If you are doing a -6 to -1, course -6 :-1, this will print a PYTO. For example, if you do the course -6 : and run this, you can see the Python. It will print till the last element. This is how it happens, guys. This is how it happens. If I wanted to print NOHTYP, reverse it. If I wanted to do the in a reverse order, how I can do that? Course : -1 means all the element from a start position, all the till the last element, but in a which way? Negative. Means travel to the left hand side. So you can see this and you can run this. NOHTYP. You can see this, guys. It will travel to the left hand side. The reason is it is a negative one. You will have a question, like for example, if I'm doing a course : all the element from a start position till the last element and the step by is a 1, means which is a positive, it will travel to the right hand side. So it will print a Python only. We can have a step by as a 1. Even this, whatever I'm going to execute right now, it will have a same output as a output 12. So we can see why, because this one is internally by default. If we give a 2, what will happen? It will skip or step 2 - 1, which is going to be skip one element now from string. So you can see that P is printed, Y is skipped, then T is printed, then H is skipped, and O is printed, and N is skipped. If I wanted to print a Y, H, and N, so how we can do that? 1::2. The reason is it will start from this particular guy now, and it will print it. Then it will skip a next guy, which is a T. Then it will print a H. Again, it will skip the next guy O, and it will print a N. Let's run this, and you can see that Y, H, N, and so on. Similar thing we can do in a negative indexing as well. Course : :-2. You can see that in a negative fashion, it is started from a N, skipped the one element O, then it printed a H, then it skipped the T and printed a Y, and skipped the P. After P, there is no element, so it is not going to do anything. But in a reverse order. So guys, there is a one interesting thing that we wanted to understand now. For example, if I'm writing again course as a variable, but what if we are taken a 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 colon 4. Let's print this YTH. By default it is having a step by as a positive 1. What will happen if I'm giving a colon minus 1? Let's run this. Why it is printing empty? The reason is really simple, guys. The reason is really simple. So what it says that start from this particular guy, end on a 4, but in a reverse order. How it is going to go? No, because this one is one is at a start point. That's why it is not able to print it. Everything lie on the step function, step thing. If step is a negative, it should go to the left hand direction, not in a right hand side direction, because this guy is a starting point. This is a start and this is an end. So it should not go to the right hand side. It should go to the left hand side. It should go to the left hand side. So course 1 colon 4 minus 1, it will go to the left hand side and minus 1. So minus 1 is something taking it to the left hand side. So that's why it is printing a empty. What will happen if you swap these things like 4 colon 1, and if I'm giving a positive, by default it is a positive 1. So if I'm running this now it is giving a empty. Reason is you cannot go something like from this to right hand side 1. There is no 1 available on a right hand side, because by default step is a 1, which is a positive, and positive always travel to the right hand side. So this guy is not going to have a 1 at all on a right hand side. But if you give a negative, it will travel to the left hand side, negative, and now this will print some output -1 and run this OHT. So guys, you can pause the video over here and do this iteration multiple times, how this right hand side traveling happen and on a left hand side traveling happen basis on this step thing. So this is critical component over here in a slicing, and this slicing is get implemented on a multiple places, on a multiple data types, and this is a really important. This is really important that you can try. So that's all for this video, guys. So what we have understood what exactly the slicing is all about, how to use a start, end and step by with the positive as well as a negative fashion. So let's meet in a coming videos. Thank you, guys.